What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Don't know what happened with my voice just there. Today's video is going to be my July TBR. TBR is to be read, the books that I will be reading in July. I'm super excited. I read a lot of books in June, so that was very unexpected. I did not expect to read as many books as I did, but I'm really glad that I did, and I'm really happy, so I hope to keep this momentum going. Today we're just going to be talking about some books that I will potentially be reading in the month of July. I don't know if I will 100% follow through with this TBR. I might change it because it just depends on how I'm feeling, but as of right now there are a couple of series that I really want to read, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started. I don't know if I'm gonna be reading any standalones. I'm probably just gonna be reading a bunch of fantasy series because that's where I'm at in life, but I'll add in a couple of contemporaries just in case I change my mind. So I do not have any physical books, I don't believe, of any ones that I want to read, because I'm just gonna probably get them from the library, so that is probably why you won't see them. The first series that I will be probably reading in the month of July, I'm probably going to marathon all of the Akhtar series from A Court of Thorns and Roses all the way until the new trilogy that came out that I haven't finished. It's called A Court of Silver Flame. I never finished Akatar. I read the first 3 books and I never continued, and I really want to because I love the series and it's one of my favorite series of all time, so I don't know why I haven't finished it yet. So I'm probably gonna finish that this month, which means I will probably be in a deep pit of depression, but I'm already there, so it's like it doesn't even matter. I've not read anything in this world in like years, literally years, so yeah, it was about time for a reread. Then, if you don't know what Akatar is, it is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. It is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but in a YA fantasy setting. And yeah, if it's chef's kiss, I love the series, and it is one of my favorites of all time, so yeah. And then I really want to finish the Renegades series by Marissa Meyer. I'll put a picture of it right here. I read the first book. I never read the second or the third, but I really enjoyed the first book when I read it at the time. So basically this is me just finishing a bunch of series that I started and never finished. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's basically a YA fantasy, enemies to lovers, with a bunch of superpowers, of people who have superpowers, and like there's I from what I remember correctly, I remember one of the main characters, like the love interest, infiltrates the base of the enemy, and they don't know that she's the enemy, and he doesn't know that she's the enemy, but she is, and I'm super excited about it. I love this series, and I believe it's a trilogy, so I'm super excited to read it, and if it's not, then I'm excited to continue past a 3rd book. And then I really think that adds me at like 6 books, so I will probably be able to finish those without a problem. We have the Folk of the Air trilogy, which is the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black, and it is also an enemies to lovers. I read the first book years and years ago. I don't even remember what it's like, or I don't remember what it's about. I just know that it's an enemies to lovers, and it's apparently one of the top like staple enemies to lovers romances that there is, and I'm really in a mood for an enemies to lovers, you know, I'm there. So I decided that I want to read the series and finish it, so I'm probably going to be reading that. So that puts me at a lot of series, so I don't know if I'll be able to read anything past that, but there are a couple of graphic novels that I want to read. One of them is called Pumpkinheads, and it's just this cute, very fall feeling, very Halloween-y comic book or graphic novel that I haven't read, and it's in my TBR, so I really want to read that. And it's supposed to be super cute. It's by Rainbow Rowell. I'll put a picture of it right here, like I said. And then I also want to start reading Heartstopper. It is a like male-on-male love graphic novel, and I've heard a bunch of people talk about it and love it so much, so I really want to read it and see what it's like. Apparently it deals with an eating disorder in the newest volume that everybody's talking about, so I really want to read it and see what it's about because it seems like a very interesting story, and I love graphic novels. They're super easy to read, so if I want to break up the series that I'm going to be reading into like parts, then I'll probably, you know, read those. Also, I totally forgot to mention that I will also be reading King's Cage and and Warstorm by Victoria Aveyard, which are a continuation of the Red Queen series, which is a series that I'm super excited to finish. I read book 1 and book 2 in June, and I finished them and I really enjoyed them. So the first books that I'll probably be reading in July are these, if I don't finish them by the end of June, which I probably won't be because they're huge. So these should be a fairly fast read because I'm very like into the story and what's going on and everything. So those will probably be the first reads that I read in the month of July. Probably shouldn't add any more books into this TBR because I've already added so much. There's a lot of series and they're all fantasy, so it's probably going to take forever to get through them. But I'm just going to add one more, which is the Shades of Magic series. I'll put a picture of it right here. I also read the first book and I never continued on. I'm not sure. Let me check Goodreads. I think it's a trilogy if I'm correct. Yeah, so it's a trilogy: A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and Conjuring of Light. I read the first book forever ago and I really enjoyed it, and I love this series. It is a fantasy set in like a world where there's 2 Londons and there's this guy who jumps through the different Londons to get some things done, and I'm not really sure what it's like completely about because it's been forever since I've read it. But when I did read it, I really enjoyed it and I wanted to continue on, but I don't believe the second book had been out at the time, and everybody raves about this series, so I really wanted to read it and see what it's about. And yeah, I finally finished it because it's been forever and it's too long now at this point. It's time to read it. So yeah, on that note, that concludes the books that I want to read in the month of July. I realized that it's a lot of books, and I actually do have summer classes as well. I have like 3 classes that will still be going on in July, so I don't know if it's realistic to add this many books into it, and they're having them all be like trilogies and series. But they're series that I'm super excited to read, and I have been excited to read for a very long time, and I've just decided that now is the time to continue and to finish the series. And yeah, I'm excited. If anything, I'll probably have like maybe a couple of reading vlogs or like readathons, a couple of readathons that I just do for my own, where I read for like 24 hours just to see if I can get through all of these books in the month of July, and if not, I'll just carry them into the month of August without a problem. Should be fine. So yeah, I'm super excited. Let me know down below what you're reading this month, if you are reading anything, or if you've read any of these books, what your opinions have been on them. I would love to know. But yeah, that's it as of right now. I know it's very ambitious, but I have all the faith in the world that I'm going to have the best time reading all these books. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Always remember to keep your head, heels, and standards high and to treat people with kindness, and I'll see you guys again next week with another video. Bye, you guys.